So what happened in 1997?
You're really not going to believe what I'm going to tell you at all. My story is, yes, it's unbelievable. I moved to Tenerife in 1996. One of the blokes that I sort of befriended was Antonio, but he offered me to go on holiday to Brazil. Little old me being naive and stupid. Oh yeah, I'll come with you. Coming back through the airport, he had 4 kilos of cocaine in his suitcase. Next thing I know, they busted it open. There's cocaine flying everywhere, and then they put a gun to my head.
So then what happened?
Then I moved to Northern Ireland. My doors got knocked. Outside there's the police and the army, and they found in my cupboard a sawn-off shotgun, a pipe bomb and ammunition. So here we go, I'm looking at 8-year terrorism charge. I was sent to McGabry Prison. These girls are violent, and most afternoons they say the table and chairs were going.
Did you ever think about escaping?
Yeah, believe me, I nearly ran. It was close.
Why didn't you run? Terry, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, we're finally here.
Yeah, yeah, it's been a journey.
It has been a journey.
Yeah, the journey to get here and the journey to get here. Yeah.
Let's roll the way back. How did you end up getting banged up for cocaine for 10 years in a Spanish prison?
You're really not going to believe what I'm going to tell you at all. Nobody. My story is, yes, it's unbelievable to how I've ended up in a situation I did get into and the things that I've been through. Because to look at me, I just look like your average normal lady walking down the road.
Yeah.
But
that's
no.
the bit that's thrown me.
Yeah.
So what happened in 1997?
So I moved to Tenerife in 1996 to party, basically. And yes, I partied hard. Yeah. It just so happens that one of the blokes that I sort of befriended was Antonio, and he owned the Paradise Club. So he did a lot of cocaine. I did a lot of cocaine. But he offered me to go on holiday to Brazil. And little old me being naive and stupid. Oh, yeah, I'll come with you. Yeah. Coming back through the airport, he had 4 kilos of cocaine in his suitcase. So that's how I ended up with a 10-year jail sentence and a 76 million per se to fine.
My God. So how old were you at the time here, roughly?
I think I was about 23.
23. So he said to you, you met him out in Tenerife. He said, you come to Brazil with me. He brought back how much worth for cocaine?
4 kilos.
Did you know anything about this?
No.
Zilch, nothing?
Nothing. No. He took me as to look better.
Yes.
But he was set up. He worked for the Guardia Civil and a judge. So they fronted the money for the drug run. So, and that was, I think he was set up. I think that there was a bigger load on the plane, looking back over it all. But in Spain, it's guilt by association. So whether you were involved or wasn't involved, they don't care. You're guilty until you prove your innocence, and they don't let you do that. So it's quite difficult. They're so corrupt over there, it's unreal.
What were you thinking at that time? I'm going to Brazil for a holiday. Did you have a clue? If he was banging loads of gear up his hooter and you were doing it as well, was there anything in the back of your mind going, I'm going there for a reason?
Well, yeah, he said to me that he bought the holiday for him and his wife, and she couldn't go. Then he said that I want to get to know you and trust you because I want you to run my club. So there I was in Tenerife, wanting the big job because I like nice clothes and I like this and I like that. So yeah, I thought, sod it. You don't get this like opportunity for every option. But he once we were arrested, he told them I had nothing to do with it. He opened up. He said, "Look, just let her go." But they didn't. No, it was. Yeah, it was quite surreal because I'd never been in trouble before. I've always lived life very much on the line, but you won't believe it. I used to be a police cadet when I was younger. When I was 16 to 18 years of age, I was in the police cadets. I love Cagney and Lacey, and I wanted to specialise in there. I had a run-in with the police one night because the neighbour, I had a fight with her, and then I looked at him and went, I can't be a cop. I'm not going to be like that. And And then the rave scene arrived. That was it, really. So
The good scene, the good days.
Yeah, that was good day.
Yeah.
The kids of today will never
understand.
understand
No,
what we had.
absolutely.
It was
The best time to be around, right?
I would love to maybe relive that moment, but the drugs are different. The people are different because towards the end, because I went out raving again later on, ketamine's arrived, crack cocaine, and it's not
Different.
the same.
Yeah, different.
We were upright dancing. They're all lying on the floor.
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
Tell me about Brazil. You were out in Brazil. How long were you out in Brazil before you then came back from Brazil to Tenerife?
Only a week.
A week. And you knew nothing about this. What was going through your head when you were in Brazil airport? Where did you get nicked? Which airport did it stop? And what actually happened that day?
So the holiday was awful. Brazil is especially the area we were in, San Antonio, it was very rough. You can't go out at night unescorted because obviously it's not safe. So you can hear the gunshots going off at night. It was a weird holiday. Of course, he didn't have a lot of money because obviously he'd been sent on this run. So, of course, I was feeling a bit clucky at this point because that's the longest I've been without drugs. And then I think it was a day before he come back with 2 suitcases. I was like, where have they come from? And he said, my old one, I bought 2 new ones. So I opened them up, had a look in, but they're all in false bottoms. Yeah. So obviously I couldn't see anything. So fortunately enough, we didn't get stopped in Brazil because that would have been a different story altogether. I don't think I'd have been here. We got stopped in Gran Canaria Airport because you have to fly from Gran Canaria to Brazil. Yeah. So, and that's where we got stopped. But to this day, I am so fortunate that I didn't get stopped in Brazil because, I don't know what would have happened that end and nobody knew I'd gone on holiday. I had to phone home on the Monday, as usual, to talk to my mum as though I was back in Tenerife. Yeah. Yeah. So it was all weird.
What happened when you get off the plane?
So we got off the aeroplane and we come into the airport. All bags from South America get checked. They put one of his suitcases up and but the second one, they weighted it one side and not evened it. This is why I think it wasn't a professional run. And they took him away and then left me outside. So I was like, what's going on here? Next thing I know, they dragged me in there. So they busted it open. There's cocaine flying everywhere. And then they put a gun to my head and said to me, what is this? What is this? So, and it was at that point, that was pretty frightening because obviously I'd never been in a situation like that before. I'd been in different situations in Tenerife where it was all a bit because it's corrupt and it's violent and the police. I remember one night we were in an office and the police came in, 2 lines of coke each, wad of money, 2 shooters on and walked out. And I was like...
What, the old Bill in Tenerife? Were they?
Yeah.
Lively.
Very lively. So, that was pretty frightening to think that somebody in charge of us all was doing that. Yeah. And so I knew of the corruption, but I didn't know how far the corruption went. And I knew that Antonio was close-knitted with them all, but I didn't realise how close.
So he's gone over there, brought 2 suitcases back, one potentially for you and one potentially for him in his mind.
No,
or he had 2 suitcases.
Yeah, he had them both. He never put.
So he never put the squeeze on you or anything like that.
No,
you were just a pretty girl going on holiday with him and came back. Okay.
Yeah, that's it. But he then said to them because he said, "Look, she's got nothing to do with it. Just let her go."
Did you see him front up and say she's got nothing to do with it? So you saw that with your eyes. Okay.
Yeah, and they said no.
What was rushing through your mind right then?
I don't see. The problem with me is in weird situations, I really don't know what's going on. I don't know the severity of it. And obviously I thought I was just going to wander out of there because I thought, well, I've got nothing on me. They'll question me and let me go. So they locked me in a cupboard. Well, they're obviously questioning him. They got me out, asked me about 4 or 5 questions, and that was it. And then said, right, we're taking you up to the local police station. Well, Antonio actually had to translate it all because there was no translator. And then you're going to go to court the next day. So by this time, it was 5, 6 o'clock in the afternoon. I've been on the red eye. I never have jet lag before, so I was feeling a bit ropey at this point. Didn't really know what had happened. I was filthy dirty. And then, of course, they did the examination. It was marvellous. Yeah, that was pretty degrading.
What do you mean examination?
The internal.
What, strip search? You're joking, man.
No. Fortunately enough, it was 2 females.
Yeah, okay.
Because over there, they have no...
Yeah.
Yeah. So then they took me up to the local police station and locked me and Antonio up. And at that point, that's when it kicked in. And I go into shock and I start shaking and I was crying and crying. I really wanted a cigarette. So I asked the officer on duty. There was no female there, just a male. So he came in and then... He wanted me to obviously give him a blowjob for the cigarette. And I was like, at that point, I was really, I don't know, I was emotional, I was tired, and then that happened. And I was like, what is this all about? So yeah, it was quite frightening at that point.
Where was Antonio at this point?
He was in the cell, a couple of bits up.
Okay.
And their cells are totally different. So yeah, it's not like here. It's a bit like, just the things up at the front, and then you've got nothing.
Yeah.
And a hole in the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of which I didn't really want to go to the toilet in there, and I wanted to ask him but I thought, no, I didn't. No, it's horrible.
This is unreal.
Yeah. So, and that's only the start of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was the movement from there? What did they say? They said, like, did you say, listen, I've got nothing to do with it? And they're like, you can go? Or were they like, no, you're staying here until we find out from Antonio that the facts that it's all written down?
No, we went down to the courthouse. It was a bit like this.
Yeah.
The judge was there, me and Antonio, probably a couple of lawyers that they picked off the street. And that's when she said that he'd not got bail, but I got prison with bail. And then I was being escorted up to, I can't remember the name of the prison in Gran Canaria. But yeah, and I'd have to say, I think the bail was about $2,500. So now we have to phone Mum. Yeah. 6 o'clock on a Friday night.
Where was Mum?
At home in England.
Whereabouts?
In Wingrave.
Which is?
In Buckinghamshire.
Okay.
Yeah. So, bit different back then. There's no mobiles, no money transferring very quickly. And when I got to the prison, one of the girls let me use her phone, and I literally picked the phone up and said, Mum, been to Brazil, been arrested, need $2,500, and put the phone down.
Wow.
That was not my best moment, put it that way.
Yeah.
Fortunate enough, my mum and dad had money, but what would they have done if I hadn't had money? Yeah. What if she'd have turned around and said, no?
Yeah.
Because I hadn't even told her I'd been on holiday. So yes, it was quite I had no money for phone calls either, so I couldn't phone home the rest of the time. So she stuck on a Friday night at 6 o'clock thinking...
Panicking.
What am I going to do?
Yeah.
It wasn't as easy now.
It's to wire some money over and let her out. How long were you in Nick for before they let you out?
Tuesday. So only about 5 days this time.
And that for you was probably long enough at that time, right?
It was.
Did you realise the severity of what was going on at that time, do you think?
No, because I still thought that I was all right.
Yeah.
Because I thought, well, Antonio said this. There's no evidence. So how am I going to be charged with this? There was always that hope.
Yeah.
And this like bubble around me that it was nothing was going to happen. Yeah. So I flew back to Tenerife. Well, they threw me out of the prison with 2 dustbin fuls of stuff. Antonia's brother was outside the prison, right? Mind, I don't know him from Adam. He had the money left over from the bail because it was pesetas into. So, I had to get in a car with him, and then I think I had to stay overnight in Gran Canaria to sort something out the following day to get my paperwork to go back to Tenerife. So yeah, I walked out, got into a car with a complete and utter stranger, then went and stayed in a hotel in the middle of nowhere. It was very, it was a bit weird. And then I had to phone home again. So yeah, it was one of them situations that you think, how the hell did I get into this? And why was I getting into a car with something? I look back on it and think, oh my God, what was I doing?
Yeah.
I was in so many situations that I was so close to being on the with danger.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. So, and then I went back to Tenerife, and then, a couple of weeks later, a week later, Mum flew over to get a lawyer. And I had an aneurysm. So, and I dropped in a garage in Tenerife, and 6 weeks later I'm still in hospital. So I missed my deportation order, which was rubbish. And then I had to find a lawyer. But so it was all
happened so quick, right?
Very quick and very. I didn't even realise what an aneurysm was, and I didn't realise how bad that was at the time.
Is that a blood clot in your body?
Yeah, it's like in my brain. It's like a hose pipe and there's a bubble in it. And it just went boosh.
With the stress?
Yeah, it was...
Mixed with...
It was actually... your blood pressure goes really high and really low really quickly. And then it either bursts, which kills you instantly, or does mine and then clots or leaks.
Okay.
But I think... It's going to sound bizarre, but the use of the drugs at the time actually made my blood thicker, so that's why it clotted quicker.
Okay. How much cocaine were you banging a day, would you say, at peak before this all happened?
A lot. In Tenerife, it was go to work, a couple of drinks, by 12 o'clock, that was it. So probably...
12 o'clock, bang on it, till through the morning, an
afternoon.
Okay.
I don't think I slept. In the summer months, I think I got about 2-3 hours. Most days we were coming home at 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Right.
Yeah.
Every day?
Every day.
You and Antonio and others?
Others.
Yeah. Before we move on to this, your book here, Passport to Hell.
Yeah.
When did this come out? This is an unbelievable. This is like an unbelievable. You couldn't have written this.
No,
a wild story. Just before we go on to this, your Passport to Hell book. Did you ever think about leaving Tenerife and getting yourself back to England, getting out of there?
Yeah.
What was going? Why did you not?
In the April,
yeah,
I flew home to England, and at this point, I was quite heavily into drugs, like very heavy.
Just cocaine or everything?
No, just
stuff?
cocaine.
Okay.
Back in the day, I took other drugs, but I messed up on acid. So, and Leah Betts died, and it was all game over, really.
Yeah.
So,
that was sad. That Leah Betts thing was sad, but
yeah, it was. It changed the world. Yeah, but then. That's another story. Yeah. I know too much about inside that one. That was they ruined our scene, really. Yeah, they were making enough money, bless them. So
you were back in the April in England.
It was.
Did you not think about just staying there?
Yeah, my sister knew there was something wrong.
Yeah.
I broke down. Not told her how flat out I was, but. I knew it was getting out of control, and I didn't know what to do. I hadn't got a very good job. Things were. Oh my God, the house we were living in. I ended up in Bungamar in the end, which is quite a hellhole. Me and my mate shared a room. You went in the kitchen, cockroaches, and the bathroom.
What cockroaches?
Yeah. it was about, I think it was £20 a week rent, but we still couldn't afford it because it was quite a, any money we had spent on drugs.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and that was it.
Okay.
And I knew that life was crap.
Yeah. Did the Spanish give you bail for a certain? Did they give you bail?
Yeah.
Yeah. For how long?
A year I was on bail.
Okay. And then what happened after that year?
I went to court.
So they went to court in Tenerife or Gran Canaria?
Gran Canaria.
Gran Canaria went into, and then what happened? Did you think it was all fine by then? You think, oh, you know what?
I was in there for an hour on a 10-year jail sentence. I said 3 words. I had no translator. Antonio's talked for about an hour about obviously the judge and the coppers that he worked for, and they took no notice of him. They said that he'd given them insufficient evidence. I think the 2 coppers went on flipping road duty, and I don't know about the judge. So then they said to me, which suitcase was yours? The one without the drugs in. That was it. Done.
That's what you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then...
Were both suitcases
no,
full of drugs, just one?
I pointed to my one.
Yeah.
And they said, oh, that's the one without the drugs in. That was it.
Okay.
Then we come out. Mind, this is the first time I've seen Antonio in a year. He's gone from being really fat to really skinny. Because I've heard, because he was on the brown in there.
Okay.
So, went back to Tenerife 2 days later. I didn't get the phone call. My mum got the phone call that I got a 10-year jail sentence with a 76 million peseta fine. It was like, what? But then the next line of hope comes in. Oh, you're not going to prison yet. You're going to appeal from outside the prison. It's bizarre. So here we are. I've had an hour court case to emerge with a flipping 10-year jail sentence.
Did you have no representation whatsoever?
I had a lawyer, but then I've now found out he wasn't even a criminal lawyer. He just took my mum and dad's money. So that was about 30 grand him, 40 grand.
Oh, God.
Then the next lawyer, who's supposed to be QC level to take it on for the next bit of the journey, which is, I don't know where it'd be here, probably the High Court.
Yeah.
He's actually a maritime lawyer. And he took about 70, 80 grand off me. So yeah, it's all about this. But I still say if I'd have paid the 76 million peseta fine,
which is what in pound notes?
It was about 250 grand.
Back then?
Yeah.
In 97, so nearly 30 years ago.
Yeah, so I think it'd be the price of the drugs. I think they said it was £1 million worth street value.
Yeah.
So I think that's how they worked it out. Then I wouldn't have had any problems. So
when you went back to court then, they said to you, that's the first time you ever heard of it, that you're going to get a 10-year jail sentence, or did you know this might be coming? So you went back to court, you spoke a couple of words, and then you were told a 10-year jail sentence?
On the telephone. But my mum got the phone call, not me.
So then what happened?
So then they said, you'll have to get another lawyer because you're going to take it through for the appeals. But you're still not going to prison. So, but this time, Antonio's got the same as me, and he's continuing his sentence. It's just, it's corruption, and it's all about money. So it's all about stinging as much out of us as they can. But I think...
Well, the old Bill, do you think the old Bill looking in at you going, you were definitely at it with Antonio?
Oh, yeah.
2 suitcases, let's just clobber her as well and clobber them, and that'll teach everyone a lesson. Do you think that was the main...
I don't know. I think it's just corruption over there. It's just about money. It's purely about money. So, and I can't remember ever... I think one of the lawyers did say if I paid the 76 million, I would have walked.
Okay.
Yeah.
But no one had that.
Yeah, but we didn't know we could do that. Because my mum and dad were quite...
Your parents quite straight down the line?
Well, Dad was a little bit skew, but Mum's very straight down the line.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. This was brutal on my father.
I'm sure.
Brutal.
I'm sure.
This was his little girl.
Yeah.
And it was bad, basically. Bad on both of them, but my dad took it really badly. It was in the Sun newspaper. People were talking about it. It was horrible. So, yeah, it was... So
you got a 10-year jail sentence. When it actually all kicked in for you, were you actually in the court then, or they just come and get you and go, right, 10 years, off you go in a Spanish jail cell, no one around you, no interpreters? Did anyone speak English in there? What? Tell me what happened on your first day when you moved in.
No, I didn't go to prison then, did I? I then appealed till about the year 2000, when John Bercow got a letter saying...
John Bercow from the House of Commons?
Yeah.
Okay.
The MP for our area.
He's a good man.
Yeah. He then got a letter which was misinterpreted that I was released for no readmission.
Yeah.
So in the year 2000...
So this is 3 years later.
Yeah. I said to Mum and Dad, bring out the passport application. I'll fill it out and we'll see what happens. Week later, my passport comes through the door. I was like, Mum, I'm coming home. That's it. I've had enough. You're not spending no more money. We hadn't heard anything for about a year. So in the February, Mum flew out, picked me up and took me to, we did it the naughty way. Yeah. So we flew to Madrid because there was no passport control.
Yeah.
And then we got on the overnight train from Madrid to Paris.
Yeah.
And then Paris to Waterloo.
Yeah.
It was in Waterloo where we got stopped. Right.
How did they get triggered? Because of the passport?
No. They were adamant we were carrying drugs. Adamant. Because we had a lot of bags with us. So me and Mum made up the story that we'd been travelling in Europe and we had to come home quick because my grand wasn't very well. They was in her head, stripped. They took the passports off twice. But little they didn't check the food from Tesco's, which had the day before date on the deli stuff, right? That little did they know it was Mum who was breaking the law.
Right, okay.
So this is when Linda told me later on.
Linda Calvin?
Yeah. How serious this situation would have been.
She's been on the podcast.
Yeah, I know. Mum would have been arrested.
Okay.
8-year charge for aiding and abetting an escape of a criminal. So the pair of us would have been arrested. I would have been flown back and Mum. But we didn't know at that time. We were blasé to the fact that I had put my mother in such a bad...
But they must have clocked that you were coming through to clobber you and your mum and pull you over.
No.
Surely are they just going to take a pretty blonde girl with her mum walking through Waterloo to go and pull them aside? They've got drugs on them.
It was some jumped up flipping new officer who just wanted to. He was adamant because I had them colours of Benetton. You know, notorious drug smuggling suitcases with me.
I've not been inconspicuous, right? If you did carry.
which I wasn't aware at the time. I've still got them under my bed at home. That's why. But they were adamant. He just wanted to catch.
Okay.
But he'd have had a really good catch if he'd have actually found what we were up to.
Yeah. Okay. So tell me what the moment from there, then when you got put into Spanish prison. So
then, my father became very poorly in the April, which I'm glad to come home. But then I moved to Northern Ireland. Which is another story altogether.
So you moved from... You couldn't write this, by the way.
I met a boy in Tenerife who lived in Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
So when I come home, I went to live with him.
Okay.
We split up in the Christmas, and I didn't want to come home, right? Dad was really poorly. And in a way, I liked it, sort of. It was very bizarre, but it was drink, partying, and a lot of paramilitary activity. Yeah. Then in the October, my doors got knocked. Outside, there's the police and the army, all in the street. I was like, oh, what the and they found in my cupboard a sawn-off shotgun, a pipe bomb, and ammunition, and balaclavas. Super. Marvellous. So here we go. I'm looking at 8-year terrorism charge. So the two things I've been arrested for, one's drug smuggling and one is terrorism. The two major things you can be arrested for. And I was like, oh, what?
Who was in the house when they?
I was with my boyfriend. It was nothing to do with him. What had happened was when my dad was dying, I flew home. I've chucked the keys at one of the boys and said, look after me place for me.
Yeah.
It just so happens that when I come back, I was not myself. I drank too, and they cut some keys,
Yeah.
and they were in and out the house.
Okay.
It was in a cupboard under the stairs, right? Tucked at the back, of which when the police did it, they made it look like it was about this big.
Yeah.
Yeah. They had it in for me.
So did they know you were on drug charges as well? Or
They found out about.
They found out afterwards.
Yeah, they found out during it, and that's why when I got found not guilty, he smirked because he knew he told them where I was, and then
Who smirked?
the officer who was in charge of the investigation on me. So because now I know how a proper court case is supposed to work, because Michael was arrested, the bloke with the bags, and I was arrested. He pleaded guilty, I pleaded not guilty, separated.
Yeah.
He's gone, he gets charged.
Yeah.
I then go to trial. Not in Tenerife. So I'm glad, I'm not happy it happened, but then I get to see how I'm supposed to be treated in a court case. I was sent to McGabry Prison, and now I'm looking for 10 grand bail.
Hold on. You were sent in what prison?
McGabry.
Where's that?
In Northern Ireland.
Okay, you were sent there straight away, and you need 10 grand bail for that. Okay.
That was not a nice place.
How long were you in there for?
About 6 days, I think.
Okay. And how would you explain a Northern Irish prison?
Isolated.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't move about. You're stuck on a wing, and they did me a right kipper because I've got a name. My proper name's Theresa Mary.
Yeah.
So my father's Catholic. They stuck me on the Catholic bit with 4 other girls, and I was in for a Protestant crime. Marvellous. I was in with a girl who's got caught with a bigger bomb than the Oma bomb. One girl who cut her boyfriend's head off on the toilet. Yeah. And I was like, this is fun. Yeah. So, it's just blocked off. You don't go anywhere. Everything's brought to you. And they're like, the cells are quite weird over there, but I couldn't imagine doing a long stretch there being isolated like that.
Yeah.
So it was horrible.
But you're calling her not guilty on this.
Oh, God,
Did you get charged on this in the end?
No.
No, okay.
No.
So after 6 days, you were released and away you go.
No, I had to go to big trial for the following year. And the QC, who was like a withering mess, he reminded me of the bloke of the Poltergeist film, the old bloke. He come walloping down the corridor, said 2 words and it was over. 2 words. But they said to me, why didn't you tell us about Tenerife? Because obviously this came up. They were going to put me on the stand. Oh, she's been so good. I said, I thought it was over. So I knew at this point that Tenerife was still lingering.
Yeah, okay.
And so they then told the authorities where I was, and then a few months later, next knock at the door.
Where were you then?
I was actually living in Aylesbury up the road, and Mum called me. Get home. I was like, no, I ain't coming home. She said, no, you come home.
Yeah.
I was like, no. She said, they're here. So we've always, and she said, bring your passport. Okay. So I was in my pink Disney pyjamas, put my tracksuit over the top, went home. There was 3 burly officers from Interpol issuing the European Arrest Warrant. And I opened the door and went, I got into the house and went, why are you here? Well, why 3 of you? And why so big? And they went, well, you don't look very good on paper. So I was like, what the fuck? So then they took me up to London and took me to Bow Street, of which it was just an automatic bail. So poor Mickey, my mum's partner, had to follow up on the train with his bank book again. He then had to put up another 10 grand bail, of which the judge then was like, do you really want to do this? She's done this. I was like, yeah, shut up. She's an absconder. So then I got bail. Then 2.5 years of court cases and court. Yeah, I had to go to Bow Street every month. It all got thrown up because I'm the last person to be arrested in Britain under the old European Arrest Warrant. I don't know what's happened now because we're out of Europe. I think there's an Interpol alert now if you move, but the European Arrest Warrant's gone. And then 2 years later, it goes to the big court, the massive court. Someone in the, is it the High? Yeah, it's quite frightening place.
Yeah.
of which they then say no, and then Blunkett.
Yeah.
He said, yeah, she's got to go back.
So it was Blunkett who said, you've got to go back to Spain.
He's the last person to make the decision.
Mate.
So that was in the August.
What year are we talking here?
We're now in 2005.
2005, but you got nicked in 97.
So it's 8
Why
years
why has this gone on so long?
It's because...
Did they think you were on the run?
Yeah, because on the paperwork, when they come to arrest me, it says fugitive on the... I was like, I'm little old me.
Yeah.
I stood there in my pink Disney pyjamas and I was like, are you for real?
Yeah.
I am not the crazy.
This is what I can't understand. Anyone listening, you might not be able to see, but
Yeah.
on YouTube if you watch it. But if you're listening on Spotify, you're like what 5 foot? How tall are you?
5'3",
5'3", lean blonde girl. Like this is just
Yeah, it's I remember about a month ago, a girl who known me for about a year, then found out about the book and said, "I'm going to read it." And then she come back and said, "Oh my God, Terry, I never knew what you've been through because looking on face value,
normal girl down the road.
Yeah, and not this." Girl that's been in and out of prisons all her life and done quite a stretch. Yeah.
So when you got 8 years later, were you still partying hard in between here? Okay. Was your life becoming unmanageable at the time?
Yeah, I decided when I got arrested on the European Arrest Warrant that I was going to go and sit in a field and get off my tits for 2.5 years, basically. So and that was it, really. So I raved every weekend before I went away.
Yeah, okay, I don't blame you.
And I've been up for 6 days when I handed myself into Heathrow Airport.
Hold on. You've been up partying for 6 days and then you handed yourself in.
Yeah, because you have to hand yourself into Heathrow Airport when they tell you that that they're coming to get you. Yeah. Believe me, I nearly ran. It was close.
Why didn't you run?
Because I've been running all my life.
Yeah, okay.
And somebody come to get me on the Wednesday night to say, right, that's it. I'm taking you with the gypsies. You're going underground. But then I couldn't see my family. I couldn't see anybody.
Yeah, okay.
I ran for a long time. It had to be over. I was flat out on the drink, the drugs. Yeah. There's a picture of me took by the BBC just before. I was the night before. That was a lot of money to get that look, but it's a bad look. It was atrocious. But yeah, the rave scene was a bit bizarre, but it wasn't like back in the day. Ketamine's ruined it. Yeah, but went back out, partied hard. Yeah,
that's one way to go, isn't it?
Don't regret a bit of it. No. There's one way to go to prison. Yeah.
So I want to know. You landed back in Tenerife.
No,
Gran Canaria.
You get back to the mainland in Spain.
Mainland, okay.
Yeah, because even when you get sentenced in the Canaries, you have to go back to
mainland
because they're too small.
And what was the first prison for you in Spain?
I went to Soto de Real in Madrid. Huge.
And how would you explain that feeling going into a Spanish prison, not speaking English, not having a clue what's going on?
And still off my tits.
Yeah, still buzzing.
It was, I was, it was starting to feel a bit ropey by this time. But they take you to the courthouse first.
Yeah.
And that's full of everybody. And so this was, I got, 10 o'clock in the morning. Now it's 3 o'clock in the night time. I was feeling quite ropey. And they come in, whistled in my ear, which I only punched one of the officers out, and said, because they had to decide why I was there. They didn't know why I was back in Spain. Then they said, right, we're going to transfer you to the prison, right? I got in a bus with somebody who smuggled drugs in her tummy and had it cut out. Then one of the mafia, Italian mafia. So, it was quite a nice little bus ride into the prison. And then, I knew that I wasn't going to stay in Soto because it's a remand. I just didn't know where they were going to send me. So I was in there for about, I think, a month. And then I had to go to Topas in Salamanca. Soto is 2,200 strong with men and women mixed and children, which I didn't like in the afternoon. 1 o'clock we go in, they come out. I think that bit, I didn't like the children. In Topas, they're not there.
You say children, what age are we talking here?
up to toddler. These aren't
All in the
babies.
same prison.
Yeah. So they're in with their babies. Well, it's a mother and baby unit like there is in Holloway.
Yeah.
But then the babies go. But in Spain, mother and child are together in the cells, which I find it, but they've now built a prison for families. So mum, baby and dad are in the prison.
Yeah.
I can see where they're coming from, but I can't.
Yeah.
The vis-a-vis were quite interesting.
The what, sorry?
Because you have conjugal rights in Spain. So being in a mixed prison as well is a bit bizarre. There was only 100 girls and 1,600 men. So the visa...
Did you ever fear for your life at all in this first stint?
I as before, I tend to live in that little bubble that I don't really know what's going on. I think the first time I got really upset was when I got one of the transfers and they beat the shit out of this girl because she had mental health issues. That was really
male prison guards.
Yeah,
a proper beating, like what?
Batons and it was. I think at that point I started to feel quite vulnerable. I've always in the prison system in Spain. It's horrible. It's if you've got no money, you're going to be on your hands and knees.
Yeah.
And that's a corruption in there. But fortunately enough, the ETA girls looked after me, the terrorists.
Yeah.
And then I ended up with an Irish terrorist boy. He was from Tallaght, just outside Dublin. And
what was he in for?
He was in for kneecapping, and I don't think in Spain they like their punishment bleatings. But he'd already done a lot of time for nicking cars, then come out and got sent to Malaga and got 14 years. I'm not quite sure I would have bothered for the cause, but then they don't like punishment beatings in Spain. So I can't remember how many years deep he was, but he'd been in quite a while. But looking back on it, I don't think I would do the vis-a-vis again. Because
you mentioned vis-a-vis a minute ago. What is that?
So in the visiting, you have your one downstairs with a telephone. Anybody can come with that. Then the second tier is family, and you get locked in a little room. Then upstairs is like a hotel room with a bed, a bath, and then they shut the door and you're in there for 2 hours. Yeah. And then they bang on the door and that's it. Yeah. So every Sunday I used to skip off for relations. Yeah. It's very bizarre, but it does work with husband and wife to keep the relationship up.
Who's visiting you?
No, he was in the prison. I had, because Damien was in with the officers. Yeah. He then got them to arrange the conjugals. So
arrange the what?
The conjugal visit, the vis-a-vis.
Okay.
Yeah, which we shouldn't have had.
Yeah.
But because it's corrupt, we ended up.
Yeah. And did you have money in prison?
Mum used to send me money.
Okay. And how would that work?
So she put, I think it's about £200 over every 2 months. Because obviously I needed money for phone cards, stamps, food and tobacco. So yeah, and if she hadn't have done that, I'd have had to find other ways like the other girls did. Yeah. Yeah, to get things.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, so
you were in there for a month, the first one. Where did you move to then, and how long were you in the next one for?
No, that was the next one. I went to Topas.
Topas, okay. Yeah. How long were you in there for?
19 months. Until my transfer come back. So when I got there, I applied for a royal pardon, which found a lawyer that was actually a bit legit. And then I applied for the transfer back to Britain. So all foreign prisoners, if you're okay, they will let you transfer back to Britain to send your service, which was better on my mum. Yeah. Because she was coming out every 2 months to visit me.
How much stress do you think you put on your mum in this period?
I don't even want to go there. I still to this day think my father's esophageal cancer was my fault. Because it was stress related, but Mum tells me it wasn't. But yeah, and Mum, I owe my life. So totally owe my life, and I don't know what I'd do without her because I've lost my dad, and it's just me and her now. So it's my mum will never know how much I'm grateful and the love that I have for her. She'll never know. She'll never know that if she hadn't put that first lot of bail up years and years ago, I'd be dead. There's no way I would have got through the problem. Not at all. Because at that point, yes, I would have started my sentence. But yeah, I just started on my own. So yeah, either that or I would have got out and then started doing drugs again. So.
What's your mum's name?
Pat.
Pat. Massive shout out to Pat.
Yeah.
Fair play to her.
So, but yeah.
And you got a good, close relationship with her these days?
Yeah. Sometimes it's a bit, it is, we've had a tough 5 years because her partner got dementia. So yeah, that's not fun. It's rubbish. So yeah, we've had another lot of crap that we've had to deal with, which is, it's life. So he passed away a couple of weeks ago. She's had a knee replacement done, so we're all good to go. So yeah, life has been really tough. It's one thing after another. But she is made of different things. Yeah. She's a northern stock and she's like a rhino, bless her. But rhinos do often give in. I think over the years, the trust is sometimes gone and there's little things that, yeah, I'm still at home with AC.
Not today?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. When I come out of prison, it was...
What year did you come out?
I think 2009.
9.
And then I had to come out on licence. So it was either that or bail hostel. So I went home. And I've not left.
Yeah.
Because every time I move out, I get nicks.
Yeah. Keep the safety with your mum.
So I think I'll stay at home with mum.
Yeah.
But it's just over the years, I don't know. I was on licence till about 2011. Then I wrote the book. Then I had a meltdown. Then I met a lad. I was with him. He went home in lockdown. And yeah, I don't know where these years have gone.
Yeah.
It's been a bit odd, basically. Lockdown was rubbish. Losing him that all set me back again. Yeah, and yeah, I'm still at home with mum.
I want to go back what it was like for a young British girl in a Spanish prison. I want to know what went on in that prison. I want to know what was going through your head every day. You can't speak the language. No. What were you doing? What were you? Were you curling up in a ball? Were you bringing it on?
We called it Groundhog Day because every time the doors open, it was like you couldn't change it for love or life. So most days we go down. It usually kicked off in the afternoon. So I hid underneath the table. I used to get out in the morning to go to the vestuario. I had a job, but I didn't get paid.
What's the vestuario?
It's like the clothing, because a lot of girls in there are foreign nationals.
Making clothing?
No, distributing it.
Okay.
Yeah, because a lot of people in there have got nothing. They were nicked at the airport, so they have the clothes come in. So we used to send them out in parcel. It was good because it used to get me out. Yeah. I used to write a lot. I tried not to sleep too much because obviously, but it was warm in the winter. But cold in the summer. Yeah, warm in the summer, but cold in the winter.
Yeah, really.
It's very, really cold. The language barrier was not great, so I learnt to speak Spanish because the officers were calling me a C ** T. So I learnt the language. I met lots of different girls. Their stories were bad because the girls from South America, they all tried to do the drug run so they could stay in Spain.
Yeah.
They were all prostitutes and, yeah, their lives were a bit grim. But the boys, you see, that got frightening because one of the boys I was talking to was a rapist. So it was always very...
on edge.
It was a bit weird how you had to protect yourself in there. I also had to protect myself from the girls because I may be a bit tough, but they're big girls. They were huge and they scared me.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're a bit like the Yardie girls. These girls are born fighters and they don't take no shit. Then you've got all the high talents, the gypsies. yeah, and it's not just one that goes in; the whole family goes in. So yeah, it was quite a bizarre situation. I befriended the ETA girls; they looked after me, the terrorists.
Yeah.
So most days, it was just prison's shit.
Yeah.
And any bloke that goes in there and tells me he likes it and doesn't cry behind the door is telling you lies. It is prison wherever you are. It's frightening. It's violent. It's drugged it because also another thing is, bro, also continue the drug problem with the alcohol problem. The only thing I could get over there was methadone, but I didn't have a heroin problem. So I wasn't going to take the methadone because then I'd have another problem. So yeah, that's their way of doing the drug problems. Whereas here we have counselling and no, they just stick you through of methadone. So yeah, that was another issue. There was a lot of heroin about because there's a lot of overdoses. Violence was bad throughout the prison. One of the boys, he escaped one day because he put the helicopter with the chain down. But there was boys in there, the ETA boys, they were serving 500 years. One of them done the bombing on the train.
Yeah.
Yeah, 500 years. So yeah, there was a lot of big criminals in there. But of course I didn't know most of them because they were Spanish. But yeah, but then you were mixing with them.
But you were in one of the toughest Spanish prisons.
Yeah, it was very tough. Both Soto, because John Palmer, he was often in Soto. I think I missed him by a week.
What was he in for?
That's the one who did the timeshare fraud.
Yeah.
He's supposedly dead. Okay. I don't think he is dead, but yeah. He did the timeshare corruption in Spain, in Tenerife. He used to drink in the bar that it wasn't him I was bothered about, it was his henchman who often, yeah.
What sort of drugs were you taking inside the Spanish prisons?
I didn't take any.
Were you clean the whole time?
Yeah, I drank a lot, but I didn't, no. I did amphetamine at that time. I really don't think it was a good idea to take speed in a cell. No.
Climbing the walls.
You imagine it?
No.
No, heroin would have been a bit different, but speed, nah. I think even cocaine, you'd been crawling the wall. No.
Have you ever tried heroin?
No.
Was that something you just like, nah, I ain't going there?
I had 2 education when I was younger. Zamo from Grange Hill, he was on heroin, and then New Jack City, crack cocaine. Never touched either because it affected me that much. Yeah.
Did you ever get abused in the prison system?
Abused as in?
Someone started a fight on you, someone beating you, some of the guards taking advantage of you.
The officers, they would have done, but I tried to protect myself. I'd watched enough girls of what they were getting up to. And believe me, I'd have gone out without the packet fags. Yeah. I was not doing that. Yeah. It was bad enough, that incident in the police cell with that bloke. Yeah. It was frightening and it was awful. I'd rather have gone without everything. I had a few fights with girls because they didn't like the fact that I spoke English. One of the girls in the afternoon whacked the shit out of me. Most of the time I hid from most of them. I really couldn't be bothered with the hassle of it all because it was, these girls are violent. And most afternoons, they say the table and chairs were going everywhere. One of the girls had AIDS. I didn't realise with AIDS that they get very violent because their mind goes towards the end. Well, she was off but it was, I don't know what started it, but it must have been the fact that the methadone was slowing down. They go off like a rocket. And it was a very vulnerable situation. Very, very vulnerable.
I'm sure. Sounds it. Sounds awful. Sounds literally awful.
Yeah. But most of the days I tried to hide from it. Yeah. It was only every now and again that one of them would find me and,
How hard was it, the language barrier? Like, I know you said you learnt Spanish and stuff, but you must
No,
have gone, hold on, you're
yeah,
all the Spanish speaking. They don't know what they're saying about you.
Yeah, but it's not just Spanish in there. Then I've got the bloody Portuguese.
Yes.
Then I've got the ETA, and then South America, they speak all the different dialects. So yeah, it was tough. I had to switch my mind off and learn one person talking to me. Then, yeah, trying to, because the Italians as well. So, and then this is a foreign national prison. I was the only English girl in there. So yeah, it was a bit, I had to switch off, and I learned a different phrase every day. I learned a lot from watching the television, because The Simpsons, so yeah, sounds very bizarre in Spanish, but they came up with the, and Dirty Dancing. Yeah, Patrick Swayze, he don't sound the same, nor does Pete. It was, because obviously I've watched it that many times, but I knew what they were saying. So that's how I learned it.
Oh, okay.
But towards the end, I had it quite fluent. But the language barrier is horrible. It's vile, because you have no idea what anybody's saying about you. Nothing at all. So and then the officers wouldn't speak to me in English. There was never a translator. I had to take Damien when the solicitor come in. I'd take him with me, because there was nobody available to do the translation. So
when you got a 10, did you think, oh, I'll end up doing 5, or did you not know?
No,
what the
not
rules
over
were?
there.
In Spain, 10's 10.
10.
My God.
10's a 10. Yeah. And then if you bugger up, then you'll...
Did you ever think about escaping?
Yeah. Well, not really from Spain. It was a bit more difficult. But enough times but I was actually trying to play it, but then thinking, how the bugger hell do they get out? Because it's quite difficult. More so when you get to the open prisons, that's when it's easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's when it's easy to do the right. But within the actual system, I don't know how they get out. It's a tough one, that one. I think they'd have to have somebody working with them.
Yeah.
To
That's
help
what happened.
them
We had a girl on here called, it was, Ollie, what was it called? Natalie Welch.
Oh, yeah.
She escaped. She got 10 years in Venezuelan prison or Peruvian prison.
Yeah.
She escaped. She was going out of a guard,
Yeah.
fell in love with the guard, escaped with the guard from Venezuela, went over to Colombia, from Colombia to Spain, Spain to England over like a period of a couple of years. But yeah.
Yeah, she's... I think that there are ways of doing it, but it's very difficult.
Did you have any friends in there?
Yeah.
That you could call friends?
Well, no.
Just prison friends for the time?
There's girls I will never forget.
Yeah.
And there are people that I won't ever forget. I had a young girl, one of the girls from Brazil, because my sister got married when I was in prison. They tried to stall the wedding, but they did it. That was a tough day for me. That was really, and she looked after me that day. That was one of my darkest days. To think that my sister was getting married without me. Yeah. That was tough. So yeah, I liked her from South America, and Andoni, one of the ETA girls. I've kept in contact with some of them. Okay. But when I got back to England, Linda Calvi was one of my favourites in East Sutton Park.
So hold on. So how long did you do it? How long did you do in total in Spain?
19 months.
19 months.
And then I got the transfer back to Britain.
You got the pardon to go back to...
No, I got the transfer.
You got the transfer back to...
So you repat.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So I got a day out on the aeroplane.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was a nice feeling leaving the Spanish prison, wasn't it?
Oh, it was...
Relief.
I must be the most happiest, well, one-off person who was happy to go to Holloway.
Yeah.
I was really happy to be going to Holloway. But it was bizarre. You get took to the back of the airport in the cell. Then the Interpol come. Yeah. They book you.
Are you cuffed up, walking up the stairs on a normal?
No. What they do is they put you on first before the rest of them, and put you at the back. But all the air stewardesses have to agree that you're allowed on that plane.
Okay.
Because they have no idea who I am. Right. One of them, the air stewardesses, kicked off and said, "No, I don't want her on here." It's happened before where they've just left, and they would have flown home without me. Fortunately enough, they told her to stay at the front and stay away from me. Yeah. So then everybody else gets on the plane.
So everyone else is just a normal Joe Public.
Yeah. Yeah. And they have no idea, who I am at the back. So you could be on any flight coming back and always clock the back seat.
Yeah, just have a clock. Yeah.
If there's two people with one person in the middle and it looks a bit peculiar, yeah.
So how long did you have to do in Holloway?
Only a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And then I got transferred to Cookham. That was not a nice prison.
Where's that?
In Kent.
Okay.
That's where all the paedophiles are in. I was not happy. It was we're not segregated.
So you're not segged in there?
No, we're either Cat A or Cat D.
Yeah.
Not like the men.
Yeah.
We have to roll with them lot. I remember walking past the door and I clocked the name and she'd gone in just before I went to prison. So I knew exactly who she was. And I was like, nah, why am I in with her?
Yeah.
She's escorted everywhere around like royalty. Then I found out the two old ladies I was talking to in the library, one was a foster carer who abused all her children with her husband. And the second one, she burnt the house down with the grandkids in because she wanted to go bingo. And I was like, really? Who the hell? But and then the girl who killed her baby in the bath in Tottenham. Yeah, she was in there too.
Bloody hell.
But they're treated like royalty. And I was like, you can't talk, these people are vile. So, yeah, Cookham for me was a horrible.
How long were you there for?
I think 6 weeks. John got me into the open prison quickly.
So John wrote a letter to who? I read the letter last night. Who did he wrote a letter to someone?
Yeah, John Burko wrote a letter to the House of... No, he had a debate in the House of Commons.
That's right.
About my situation. Yeah. I've got the debate at home.
Brilliant piece that he wrote about you, by the way.
I know. He was... he helped my mum so much.
Have you met him since you come out?
Yeah.
Massive shout out to John, by the way.
We went to the garden party at Buckingham Palace. That was bizarre. So, yeah, 1 minute I'm in prison, the next somebody goes, this is fun. This is really surreal. Yeah. And we went to the state opening of Parliament, and then when he was made Speaker.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, he's but he's not. He doesn't do it anymore.
No.
He ended up on Big Brother.
Yeah.
That's
right.
His missus did.
Right.
Yeah. Because his missus is a real. She loved me because she's got a drink problem too. Right. But I don't know where he's gone now. I have no idea.
So you did your 19 months in Spain.
Yeah.
Which was brutal.
19 months back here.
19 months back here.
Which was even more brutal.
Yeah.
Even the open prison was more frightening than this one because you're more vulnerable.
Yeah. Okay.
And on top of that, my teacher was murdered in the grounds of the open prison, which was... Oh.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Your teacher who was teaching you in the prison
got murdered in
by
Harper, her boyfriend. So we all they didn't know. It was really weird that morning. I got up and I knew something was wrong because the officers go weird and funny. And next thing I know, we're on lockdown. Looked at the blooming tent our teacher was out there murdered. I'd only been with her the day before. So we all got arrested. The whole prison was questioned on murder. So, and then I think she was outside for 2 days under this tent in the boiling hot. We couldn't phone out. We couldn't do anything. Then they found out it was her ex-boyfriend who'd, but because there was no cameras hardly in there because it was open. It was too open.
How mad is this? I'm like reflecting on this conversation, like getting caught up, party girl in Tenerife, getting caught up with this fellow who owned a nightclub, bringing back 4 keys of cocaine. Street value at that time was
1 million.
1 million. You then getting banged up in Spain 8 years later. But in the meantime, you went to Northern Ireland and got banged up because the fella you were with had a bomb and a sawn-off shotgun and balaclavas, and you couldn't write this.
No.
And every part of it, you're innocent.
Yeah.
Like every part of it,
That's what everybody can't.
This is the bit I can't get my head around.
It's just, I'm either unlucky or stupid, basically. It was just situations that, but any girl in Tenerife said that could have been us.
Yeah.
Any girl.
Party girl who was caught up, yeah.
They said that it could have been us that was arrested. Any one of us, because they were all in a very vulnerable situation. And they were all, so that was that one. He could have took any one of the girls.
Yeah.
But the thing is in Spain is whether you knew or you didn't know, they don't give a toss. They don't. You have to realise that if you're out there, if you do something silly or you always do, you're going to get nicked, and you're looking at
you're getting nicked for association.
Yeah, a long time. So all these boys go out being, oh yeah. You get caught with drugs if they're not the Guardia Civils, and you're
going to get clobbered.
Yeah.
Was there any point where you could bung the Guardia Civil, bung them off, get rid of them?
Well, I think they were being paid off daily over there. It's all the Russians have took over a lot now.
What, out in Tenerife?
Yeah, I remember one of the nights in Bobby's bar. They were all fighting. The boys come down with all the shooters, and then went up. And then one of the cars exploded. Yeah, every day was vulnerable. And then one of my mates had his eye took out, but he was in the paper not so long back because he was associated with the Peru too.
Yeah.
And he come up through the tunnel, blood all down his face. Yeah, they took his eye out. I had to take him up the hospital.
Where were you based in? Were you based in Las Americas, were you?
I started, when I moved out there, I was in between Las Americas and then got a job on Veronica's.
Yeah, okay.
Then when it all kicked off, when I got nicked, then I worked in a restaurant and then a lounge girl. So it was later on that I started to get my life sorted out. Just before I come home, I was cleaning.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I was in the thick. I lived in San Rafael, which is right on top of Veronica's. But it was all about the party.
Yeah.
I went out there to party, and I did. But just happened to
get caught up.
Yes.
Have you seen Antonio since you've been out?
No.
Has he reached out to say sorry?
No. I think, I can't remember how many years back. I think it's when I wrote the book. ITV News wanted my mum and him to do an interview, right? Like, when they address, I was not happy about it. And fortunately enough, he didn't do it. But no, I've not seen him.
Not seen him?
No. I think, oh no, I remember now. It's when I got nicked on the European Arrest Warrant, he was just coming out of prison because he'd gone through all too quickly, basically. Yeah, he'd gone through the whole lot far, far too quickly. And they got in contact with him and told him what was happening to me in England. And would you do this? And fortunately enough, he didn't. So no, I've not seen him. I think he's actually died now. I don't think he's alive.
He's not? Okay.
No. But he had to move because he was a grass. He had to move to Barcelona. I think it was with his mum. The wife had told the kid that dad was dead and had nothing more to do with him. So
why was he grass?
I don't know what had happened in the final bits, but I think he grassed his way through the prison because. So
he didn't do the full 10.
No.
He came out after how long? Do you know?
6 years.
Come out of 6. Okay.
And he got in open too quickly.
Okay.
So yeah, word on the street down there. The Moroccans told me that. So
here in your book, Passport to Hell, some of the chapters in here, like the experimental years, living the dream, back to Tenerife, the holiday from hell, Salto del Negro.
Yeah, that's the prison.
Okay,
yeah.
Cocaine on the brain.
Yeah.
My day in court, the final countdown, Terry the fugitive. Another escape, Terry the terrorist. Out of the frying pan and into the fire. A sense of deja vu. Arrested again.
It's actually not funny, but it's...
The extradition. Life in Soto del Real. Topas. Ups and downs. Return to the asylum. Return to sunny England. Murder at Hogwarts. Life on license. Wow. When you look at that, how would you explain your life?
Colourful,
very colourful.
Very colourful.
Yeah.
Well, I've not had a boring life.
No, you certainly haven't. That's why you're on here. Terry, eventful life. You certainly lived an eventful life.
Yeah, it's not been boring, put it that way, but it's also been, sometimes I would like a quieter life, but then when it's quiet, that's when my brain shuts down.
Going.
Yeah. Because my brain can't cope without problems. Yeah. That's when I had to make them break down. But it's left me with doing acid, giving me the blooming panic attacks and
So you've been out for how long now? 14? When did you come out?
16 years.
15, 16 years?
I come off licence in England in 2011 and licence in Spain in 2015.
Okay.
Because, it was quite frightening with the Spanish license, because at any moment I would have gone back for the full 10 and...
Well, you got a recall at any moment for what? If you...
No, if I'd have met... something would have happened to me in that period in Spain, then I'd have, been in a lot of trouble, which I didn't know about that.
Okay.
But I was actually royal pardoned in the end. Yeah. But it was a partial pardon. So they had got away with, paying me a lot of money out. They dropped the sentence from 10 to 6. So at that time, you did free in, free out.
Yeah.
So when they got the paperwork, I was released automatically. That was a good phone call.
Yeah, I bet.
That was another phone call. Come and get me. I put the phone down. Yeah. So.
And your mum will come and got you again.
Yeah.
She's a special woman.
Yeah, she's very special. Yeah, it's been a journey. I feel sorry for my sister as well, because the years she's missed out on as well. Yeah. There's different things that I just took over. So
a whole lot. Every conversation of what's going on.
It was constant me.
Yeah.
And there's things like she's missed out on, and
she's missed out on, or you've missed out on?
No, she's missed out on because of me.
Yeah, okay.
Because
Is she older or younger than you?
Younger.
Have you got a good relationship with her today?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes not. Yeah. We have our falling out. We are very close and we are best friends. But it's a lot of water under the bridge.
Yeah,
There's
sure.
a lot.
Have you ever thought about sitting down for a day and just going through it and just opening your heart out to her?
No, I've always wanted to do the book with her.
Okay.
So I think it's called like the butterfly effect, where one problem, so with the 3 people, I have me, mum and Kel.
Yeah.
How one problem affected us all in 3 different ways. Because she's a silent one. She's never spoken. And I know a lot of it was bad, what I put for it. How did she feel when I dropped with the aneurysm? How did she feel the night she found out I'd been nicked?
Yeah.
What happened with 10 years? I know for a sure fact I've put myself in the other way. Sometimes you have to put yourself in the other's shoes and think, oh, what have I done to this boy? Because that not just happened to me, that happened to everybody.
The knock-on effect is massive, isn't it?
It's huge.
Have you got any words for Kel today?
Oh, I'm really sorry. Really sorry for everything I put her through. Everything. It's, it's been... She's had her own problems in life as well. She's got 2 beautiful children and she's strong. But there are times that, I know that I've been a raw pain in the arse. Absolute sister from hell, really. Yeah. Although we've always been very strong and tight, and there are times that she probably might punch my head in, to be honest. Yeah. Because I know I have. Yeah. It's been tough for her. Tough.
I bet.
Yeah. But, it's quite bizarre how people think that your bad decisions only affect you. No, they don't. Because not only I have to do the sentence, everybody else outside is doing it with you, but in a totally different way. Yeah. They have no idea what's happening to you in there.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I just get on the phone. Yeah, it's great, isn't it? Trying to put on a front. Yeah. But they're sat at home, waiting for my phone calls, probably waiting for the news I was dead. Yeah, it's all different. Or the next phone call, I've been nicked, and we don't like the front door going at home. We don't like the bloody phone ringing. Yeah. Every time
anyone does.
Every time the door freaking goes, I think it's a
Bill.
I'm hiding around the door like, yeah, it's horrible. It's vile.
Yeah.
I tell people not to come to the front door. Definitely don't ring the doorbell. Go around the back. Yeah. There's all little things that it just brings back so many different sort of memories from the trauma that we've all. But it's not just my trauma; it's their trauma. So
you mentioned a few minutes back about you had a breakdown.
Yeah, So when I come out, I was on licence, which was very tough. I wouldn't do licence again. Such wood I won't have to, but I would not do licence. It's vulnerable and it's frightening. Then I wrote the book, and then after that, I was like, "Oh, right, okay." And that's when I had the Yeah, my body just had a mental breakdown.
Okay.
Yeah, it couldn't cope. So when you've been through so much trauma, because mine was back to back for 14 years solid, yeah, your brain can't cope with no trauma. And that's when I started to invent all sorts of things. So, and then the panic disorder come in. Then I decided I ground myself. So I'll get my passport back. I'm going to have a fear of flying. So I can't. It was all different weird things that you do. And it's bizarre. Yeah.
How do you explain a breakdown?
It was, I don't know. I think it was more to do with the panic disorder, because I started to get rituals as well with the OCD, thinking if I did things in order, nothing bad would happen. But with the panic disorder, that was bad, because at first I had no idea. I'd had this panic attack, but not to the severity of what I was having now, to the point that I thought it was just constant, and it wears you out, wears you totally. Until you try and get on top of. So I went for therapy, which is CBT, but like a soldier who gets his leg blown off, they couldn't pinpoint when I broke. So they can't find the exact point that flipping starts this, what do they call it? The shock.
PTSD.
Yeah, that's it. So they didn't know which bit to work with. So it was quite a long journey to try and find out which bit broke me, because I'd never dealt with any of these problems. Because once something else had happened, so this happened, then Dad died, so I didn't have time to deal with any of it.
It's basically something's happening. Yeah. Bam, bam, bam.
Yeah, okay. And it took me years. Fortunate enough, I'm a bit on top of it. But then driving here today was I hate driving now. I used to drive for miles.
I think we said we'd start this at 3, didn't we?
Yeah.
I think we started at 5:30.
Yeah. So it's one of them things that I panic so much, and everything gets on top of me.
Okay.
Yeah, and there was a point where if I wasn't in control of something, I wouldn't do it. So that was flying airplanes, being in the train, even cars. I wouldn't drive the car for a year when I got out of prison. I don't know what. I have no idea what that was all about.
Are you still using drugs today?
No.
When's the last time you used?
Probably the night before I went to prison, and I've been sober for 18 years.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah. So, that's been tough.
Fair play. I bet it has.
Because alcohol, it's everywhere.
It was a big part of your life.
Very big.
Yeah.
Because every time something bad happens, I just go and sit in the field and get off my tits. So, yeah. Now I can't do that.
What do you do? What do you do now?
Just
to relax the brain.
I don't really relax because I'm always flipping 101. I don't relax. I think in life I have a goal, a final goal, and that's to get that onto the TV.
Yeah. Well, this story, Passport to Hell, this book here, definitely go and check it out, everyone out there. Definitely check this out. This is a powerful, powerful book. Yeah. The ultimate goal is to get this into Netflix, because this is some story you've got. Yeah.
It's to put, it'll always be a sort of a message, but a message that is never grow old.
Yeah.
Never, because there'll always be drugs, drink, and there'll always be somebody going on holiday, because just recently there's been a lot of people being nicked again. There'll always be people going on holiday. There'll always be, it's a timeless message. It's not forget. Oh yeah, we'll sympathise with her and we'll feel sorry for her. No, don't feel sorry for me. I feel sorry for my family. I don't regret my life because it's made me who I am. I regret some of the people that have been in it. But you have to go through these things. But because I have this knowledge now, that knowledge needs to go out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's, I think with drink and drugs, if you can take them in moderation and not hurt anybody around you, then knock yourself out.
Yeah.
But the minute it starts hurting you or somebody else, you've got to stop. Yeah. You've got to stop. And it's really good that I don't make really silly decisions on alcohol. I've always wanted to be my sister because she can she's a happy drunk, like
Yeah.
my dad as well. My God, she's so funny, but I wasn't funny anymore. It was not nice. I miss Christmas Day. Christmas Day was always better drunk. It's not very fun sober. And New Year's Eve. They're the only 2 days that I really do crave. There are other days where I wobble, but I have my coping mechanism. And then because I work in pubs, I'm surrounded by people that put me off alcohol for life. So yes.
So you work in pubs now, do you?
Yeah. When I first come out of prison, that was my first job for 9 years.
Mate, you're a strong woman if you can work in a booze or not touch a drop. Good for you.
It was good therapy, really, because people can put you off alcohol.
Do people in the boozer where you work know your story?
Some of them don't. Especially the younger ones, they don't know. And some of the older ones, if you didn't live in Aylesbury area, then you probably wouldn't. Yeah, you wouldn't know. Yeah, all of it.
Fair play to you coming on the podcast and being so open.
Yeah, but thank you for having me.
No, I really appreciate you making the effort. I really do.
As I'm only one of 7 girls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you one of 7?
Yeah, I'm quite honoured. Yeah, that you.
Oh no, one of 7 on the podcast. Oh, I see.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought you one of 7 sisters, brothers.
No. There's only 2 of us, thank God. No, I was quite honoured, really, that I was invited.
This is down to Mickey Finn.
Yes.
Shout out
the
to
legend.
Mickey, mate.
I
Legend
love
Mickey.
Oh,
Yeah, mate.
Yeah, Mickey. We need to go out soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He spoke very highly. He was like, Dodge, you need to get Terry on the podcast.
He's a legend.
Yeah.
Legend.
Terry, before we finish up, have you got any last words to say to your mum?
There are no words, really. She'll never know. She will never know what I feel for her. Never. Because she lost her mum when she was only 9 years old. So she's been without a mum all her life, really. But boy, she's done the job. Because when my father died, she now has the role of mum, dad. Yeah. And yes, there is no words. No words at all to tell her. As I said, I probably wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
But no.
So really appreciate you making the effort. I've really enjoyed listening to your story.
Thank you.
Powerful. Yeah. And like you said, like anything, what you can do now to help any other girls or boys out there thinking of doing or getting involved with the wrong people or whatever it may be. What your final words are, just stay away.
Yeah. Life is what you make it. And obviously my experience is I love raving. I'm still...
We all love raving.
like Mickey. I don't feel... I've been raving now for 34 years.
Yeah.
34 years.
Good.
That's some dedication
Good.
to the rave scene.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm going off it a bit more now.
Mate, it's wicked parties at the moment for over 40s everywhere.
Yeah. No, I still party with the young uns.
No, but I'm saying that Gen X party where there's all the old house music, all the old tunes we all knew are all popping up all around the UK in different countries. It's fabulous.
But the last big one I went to was at AWOL. That's where I met Mickey.
Okay.
Yeah, with Darren Jays. Because I used to go to the Paradise Club in Islington.
Yeah.
To the original AWOL. But yeah, I've been raving.
Have you hooked up with Mickey lately?
No, I haven't seen him for ages.
You got his number?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'll ping it over to you. Hook up after this. After I told him last night that you're coming on.
Yeah.
He's like, I can't wait to listen to this one. But let's make sure you reach out to him.
Yeah.
And
He's
a legend.
Yeah. He'll definitely be on my film.
Yeah, good.
He'll be the only DJ on there. And he still plays off the decks.
He does, doesn't he? Terry, you're an absolute beautiful, beautiful soul. You really are. And you've lived an eventful life. Yeah, thank you for making the effort coming down here. I know it was a big ask, but I really appreciate it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Nice one, Mickey.
Yeah.
No, Mickey. Nice one. I got Mickey on the brain. Nice one, Terry.
Thank you.
Nice one.
Yeah.
Take care. Cheers.
Bye.
Thanks for watching, guys. If you'd like to see someone on the show, leave a comment below. And if you haven't already, do us a favour, show us a bit of love, press the subscribe button, and it allows us to grow the show even bigger and bigger each week. Nice one.